What is going on, everyone? So I have to touch base with you guys because I left off on where the Subaru was for the Subaru build, and I gotta tell you guys that you might not be happy about what I did, but you also will understand. Most of you guys out there who have a Subaru Legacy, Outback, or in the Subaru lifting community will understand that lifting a Subaru is easy. However, you have to do it to the right Subaru. In this case, the Legacy is not the way I wanted to go. Even if it is possible to lift the Subaru Legacy, it's more work. You have to get body spacers for the rear, you have to get body spacers for the front, and you basically have to swap everything that's on an Outback, which is more of the off-road version of the Subaru Legacy. You have to swap everything from that onto the Legacy for it to even be like an Outback. So I did a little bit of research, and it didn't go the way I wanted it to go, because I ended up lifting the Legacy, and it turned out that the Legacy was practically the same height as a stock Outback. So what I did was I sold the white Legacy. I did it again. I sold another Subaru, but I sold it to my sister, and I took off the wheels and stuff like that, basically everything I wanted to, brought it back to stock, and I bought another Subaru. Now, this is what I should have done the first time, but if you're somebody who doesn't want to put in the work to lift a Legacy and you want it to be simple and efficient, then go with the Outback instead, because it comes with the factory spacers, and that's why Outbacks are lifted just a little bit compared to Legacies. Also, the suspension is it's more readily for off-roading. And so I got the Outback, and you guys are about to see it right now. I'll show you guys kind of how it looked when I got it and where it is now. All right, guys, so if you haven't known, I got another Subaru. I actually sold a white Legacy. I know you guys are pretty pissed at me, and you're like, damn, you barely had it, why you keep selling shit? But this is it. We got a 06 Outback. It has been sitting for a long time. We bought it from auction for about 1,200 bucks out the door. High mileage, but I inspected the car. It's 2 owners, and yeah, it definitely runs good and has been well taken care of. Interior is clean. We actually just did an audio or full detail interior, so it looks a lot cleaner. I scrubbed the carpets a little bit, and right now we're doing exterior washing, but this thing is super clean, guys. It's about to be anyways, but you got some moss stuff right here, a little bit of just wear and tear from it sitting for like 4 years, I believe, and we're gonna bring this thing back to life, so stay tuned. All that mold. We'll hit it with a brush. Look at this. to take it inside the garage and do some work on it for you guys. This one's cracked. If you guys can see that from old age. Backstory on the Outback. I bought the Outback from auction for a really good deal, considering the fact that I sold the Legacy. It all just kind of worked out perfectly. I bought the Outback for $1,000 from auction, and basically it needed all the maintenance done. The car looked like it's been sitting for years. Who really knows? But my guess is, with everything that it had in it, like oxidizers and it just looked like somebody was getting ready to let it sit for a long time. And that got me questioning, why was this car sitting for so long? When it looked so good, it was clean title, and it was basically probably like 2 owners or 1 owner, I don't know. Getting it for cheap, I had to put a few $100s into it to make it reliable again and make it drive how I wanted to drive. Bring it back up to maintenance for the most part. And that's what I did. So I did new belts on it, well, drive belts, because they were cracked and worn. New spark plugs, oil change, like always when I get a new car. Change all the filters, brake pads and rotors, wheel bearings, all 4. Basically all the little maintenance stuff I had to do again. And now the car is awesome. It's prime, it runs great. I take it on road trips here and there, and it's running like a charm. So $1,000, I put about $400 into it. So about $1,500. The car is solid again, and it doesn't have a lift, but it has off-road sparkle wheels with the KO2s, and I'm happy with that. So stay tuned for the process of how I brought it to where I did, and yeah.